Hi, today we're tasting Happy Lucky's 10th anniversary Sheng Puer. Now, Puer is grown near Puer City in Yunnan, China. Many claim this is the only place you can get Puer from. If it's not from there, it's a dark tea. Dark tea might be the category, and Puer more specific, such as champagne is to sparkling wine. Now you'll notice this is in this paper. These are classically packed into a mulberry paper that allows it to breathe, sort of, because it kind of off-puts gases. You need a little Puer pick to go into and kind of chunk off a piece. As you can see here, it's been compressed, and it is literally fermented tea. We often misuse this term in the tea world because it implies there's an alive microbial action. This is made pretty similar to compost, covered with water and tarps, given time, turned. All these trees it's the original birthplace of tea in Yunnan, China. Many of the trees are considered very old. It's hard to say exactly unless somebody takes a core sample of the tree, which is not good for the health of the tree. So be leery when you hear claims of how old a puer is. But the best ones are the oldest trees and the young growth on them, it seems. It's very common to want to give a little rinse to your puer. For one thing, it's aged, more likely to have, dust and contaminants and things on it. So I'm just gonna throw a little water on it, shake it up, and pour it out immediately. Now we'll brew to drink. It's a very sort of rich, permeating aroma to it. It's almost, reminds me of mint or camphor almost in a way, the way that it permeates, or eucalyptus, just a little touch in there. We're bringing a Yijing pot as sort of a classic brew for these sorts of teas. The clay is a little bit more porous and allows it to develop flavors inside the teapot that eventually will enhance the tea. These teas are made for rebrewing, resteeping lots of times. They'll often get better and kind of change in dynamic ways as they go through the several brews. Most people don't love puer the first time they taste it. It's kind of interesting because it almost comes on kind of bitter at first and kind of like camphor as a flavor, but it twists and leaves you with this sweetness, especially like after you swallow, the sort of juxtaposition of that initial camphorousness as it lingers and then air moves across your tongue. It's incredibly sweet. And I've really grown to love them much more over time. I especially feel really well when I drink them. They have a depth to them. They're quite dynamic in flavor. And sometimes I feel like you can almost taste the age in them.
Are puers popular in China?
Oh, very. It's quite popular to buy these cakes, say as a gift, as the flavor of the teas will age and improve well. So it's getting popular to say give this as an anniversary gift, and then the couple might try it at every year on their anniversary and kind of note how it changes and develops through the years. I've also seen them given to people at birth or for birthdays. It's also really popular in Russia to buy a cake like this, drink on it for a little bit, and once they feel like they've gotten to know it and explore it, they give it to a friend and they might exchange different varieties that they've acquired. This whole paper that comes in, the mulberry paper, you could write books on, as well as the clay itself. These are often The whole village will work to make the paper. It's taken from a mulberry bark, boiled and mashed for several days, spread across bamboo mats that they'll leave to dry, and then it's taken to be printed on. As I was saying earlier, this mulberry bark really allows the gases to escape as it ages and ferments. Some people have special fridges with adjusted humidity just for this tea. Enjoy, it's quite an experience.